Hi everybody, it's Jen. So it's getting a little late, but there's this message that keeps coming up that I feel like I need to share, and in different ways. I keep seeing it and feeling it, and I just haven't had time to really put out a video about it because we've had a sick dog here, and I've been trying to, things have just been a little chaotic. She's okay now. She's going to be great. So anyway, I wanted to talk today about self-care. I've been a massage therapist now for nearly 10 years, and what I found, not just being a massage therapist and treating, many different clients, men and women, also in my family, within my friends and people that I know, I think we get a little lost when it comes to self-care, and a lot of us just really don't know how to take care of ourselves. And a lot of us struggle with what's, being, with the feeling of it being something, being selfish about taking care of yourself. Well, first of all, I think a lot of us get confused as to what self-care is. Because I can tell you that certainly it is not just taking a yoga class or going to, having a spa day, although it can be that. That's not it in totality. Really understanding your value and your worth is so important, and it's part of that self-care. It's knowing yourself intimately. It's knowing what's good for you and what's not, what's healthy for you and what isn't, and what environments are not conducive to your happiness. And sometimes self-care is walking away from people that bring you down. Sometimes self-care is leaving a job that is making your stress very hard to manage. Sometimes self-care is laying in bed all day. Sometimes self-care is getting up and brushing your teeth, making sure you're getting a shower. Think about, like, if you were a kid, how you would take care of the kid. Making sure they're bathed, making sure they have healthy, nutritious meals, making sure that they have some playtime, right? Making sure that they're getting a good night's sleep. Sometimes self-care is like doing your laundry and having fresh, clean linens on your bed. I mean, sometimes, you have to decide and know for yourself, what are those things? What are those basic things that make you feel good, that are healthy for you? I mean, a plant needs sun, it needs light, it needs light, it needs sun, it needs energy, it needs water, it needs fertilizers, it needs to be fertilized sometimes, it needs room to grow, it needs healthy soil. So too, even though this is your body's organic, it needs basic things. Then you also have to think about, like, as a soul, what do you need spiritually, mentally, emotionally? What, do you need time every day to meditate? Do you need to be out in nature? Do you need to get a good night's rest so you can get up a little bit extra early so you can sit and meditate for a few minutes, or gather yourself in the morning? Do you need 15 minutes a day in quiet? What are the things that are basic for you? That's a good place to start. Like, what are your basics? Things that you need to feel healthy and joyful and grounded and content. And start from there. And knowing your value and your worth is really important. Having healthy boundaries with all of your relationships it's super important to have that you can't really get anywhere without having healthy boundaries. And for me, as a person who lived most of my life without boundaries, or like with flimsy boundaries, I can tell you that without those boundaries in place, you get pulled left and right, and you get depleted of of like, your cup, you can fill your cup, but if you're constantly spilling out to everybody without refilling it, then you're going to burn out. And I came real close to burning out, and I consider myself a pretty strong person, and all my life taking care of everybody, and that was fine for me. I didn't mind doing it. I didn't expect anything in return, but I poured out to everybody, and I wasn't, I just said, I'll put myself over here. I don't need much, I don't, I'll take care of myself later. I mean, but the more you put yourself aside, the more you get sidetracked, and then all of a sudden you're like exhausted. So I just wanted to come on here today and remind you about self-care, and to tell you that it's not selfish to take care of yourself. Okay? If you're watching this, I just want to tell you that it is not selfish to take care of yourself. You must fill your cup first. It's important to fill your cup first so that you can pour out from a place of wholeness inside, and be what you need to do, what you need to do for the people that depend on you, or that you are responsible for, and to refill your cup so you're not constantly depleted. I mean, it is nobody's job to fill your cup for you. And the thing that happens a lot is that, and even unintentionally, is if you're not filling your cup, if you're not taking care of yourself, then even unintentionally, you're putting that job onto somebody else. And that kind of breeds resentment in a relationship dynamic, any relationship dynamic. If you're constantly doing for someone, and that, or for a job or for anything, and that is not pouring back into you, I mean, that person or that thing may or may not pour back into you, right? But to depend on it too, and then when it doesn't, then you're like, I did all of this and this didn't, it didn't give, what about me? And the reason you're feeling like that is because you didn't do it for yourself. You didn't refill your own cup. You didn't take care of yourself first. Having healthy boundaries, really understanding what is healthy for you and what isn't, and removing the things from your life that are not healthy, and filling your life with the things that are, and actually making the time for yourself is essential for your well-being. No one else knows. I mean, there are people out there, there are plenty of healers and teachers out there, and who can give you insights, who can give you some guidance, or they may say something that resonates with you, but nobody knows what you need. Only you know what you need inside. And it's up to you to say, this is what I need, and do for yourself, and take care of yourself so you don't burn out, so you can be fully present in every experience of life, and be fully present in that experience in a whole, balanced and grounded and joyful. Not always joyful. I mean, life's not always going to be joyful, but at least in that moment you're not feeling completely depleted, exhausted, frustrated, and overwhelmed. So I hope that this has helped you, and I highly encourage you to just start making a list of the basics, what you need, even if it means I need to, write a list, start writing a list. I need 7 hours of sleep every night. I need to eat breakfast. I need an hour before I to wake up. I need to take a shower. I need to brush my teeth. I need to do my laundry. List. Make a list and start from there, and then maybe you'll say, I need an hour a day to read a book, or I need 3 hours a week to just to be by myself, or I need to meditate every day for 10 minutes, or I need to work out, or, you know, once a week I want to take myself out to dinner. And that's another great thing, like little things like that. A lot of us, we sit in front of the TV and we eat, sometimes just sitting in front, especially if you're just on your own, if you just light a candle and eat at a table, sometimes that's like really good self-care. Self-care is, nobody can do for you what you need to do for yourself. It's nobody else's responsibility, and I think a lot of us get that. It's just that I feel like a lot of us are lost when it comes to doing for us, because we're for ourselves, because we're so, we're always doing for others, and when it comes to ourselves, we just get stuck, and then we don't do anything, or we just sit there and we just but true self-care is working on your awareness, knowing your boundaries, building your self-worth, trusting your voice, trusting your intuition, trusting your knowing, trusting yourself. So important. Being kind to yourself. Stop being judgmental towards yourself. Listen to the things that you tell yourself every day, or the way that you look at your body, or the things that you say to yourself too, like knowing your worth, loving yourself, giving yourself compassion, forgiving yourself, working on your healing. We all have things in our past that we all have certain traumas or things that we need to heal from, and working on that and working through it, and seeing our patterns and who we really are inside, who we are at a soul level, and what our purpose is, developing that and working. Some of us are going through more intense healing right now than others, but everybody has their own path. But really developing that self-awareness, that really is self-care. The more you know yourself, the more you know what it is that you need to be healthy and to feel joyful and to feel yourself, to be confident in yourself, to know your worth, to know your value. And then everything starts from that one base. Everything externally comes from this strong, solid place inside. Namaste. I hope you have a beautiful night.